WIIFTBP.
Broken screen? Crash system? Are you in need of spyware or virus removal from your computer? Well, contact RPC Computer Repair in South Shore and let us help you with all your computer repair services and print needs. Need office or print production services, copies, scans, fax, or even notary service? Then stop by and support RPC Computer Repair and Print Shop located 1741 East 71st Street in the 71st Street corridor, newly revitalized South Shore areas, and let RPC be your one-stop shop, where we believe RPC is your PC. RPC Computer Repair is also a UPS access point where you can drop off and pick up your important packages. So let RPC be of service to you. Call RPC Computer Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. through 6 p.m. at 773-966-4457. That's 773-966-4457. Visit RPC at rpccomputeringinc.com for more information.
Saturday, June 19th, 2021. Grab the family and join the Woodlawn for the second annual Juneteenth Block Party. Join the Woodlawn team for a day of vendors, activities, DJs, live music and broadcasts, rooftop experiences, and much more. Vendor space is still available. For tickets and more information, please visit www.thewoodlawn1200.com. That's www.thewoodlawn1200.com. We do this for the culture.
Stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to.
You're listening to I Said What I Said with Toussaint Werner and Herb Howard.
What are y'all takes on blended families?
Meaning white people? Or what?
No, she mean like you got kids, this person got kids, y'all get together and bring the whole family together. I don't know. I have zero experience with it. I imagine it could be challenging. Especially I think the older the children are, I think the more challenging it could be. I think if it's little children or something, you can kind of explain it to them and they may like grow up together and kind of in that same space where this is mom, this is dad type thing. But if you talk about older kids where they literally have a mom or dad, another person like that has been in their lives when they're older, and you're like, oh no, this is your stepbrother, stepsister. Like, nah, we like 17. Like, I'll bone her.
And if this family don't work, you can just give me to the game anyway. Ain't gonna matter. No woman will ever be important. I'm not being an ass. I'm serious. In my mind, the value of that kind of a commitment is family. I got that already. So now we just chilling. So you ain't gonna really know my children.
What's up, good people? You're listening to I Said What I Said with Toussaint Werner and Herb Howard live on What's In It for the Black People Media, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
Ascension.
Coming from where I'm from. Every season's hot where I'm from. Seems like everybody got a op where I'm from. Niggas barely make it to the top where I'm from. Coming from where I'm from. Still fooling. We done lost a lot where I'm from. Still watching for them niggas trying to plot where I'm from. Cause everybody trying to make it out where I'm from.
Look, where I'm from, you gotta decide your own outcome. When niggas keep the peace like King and still move like Malcolm. Get it by any means as long as income is the outcome. Hit that stop button when they mouth run. Damn, straight bullets through the skies that powder babies just like talcum. Heartbroken mothers pray to God and ask him how come. You kill one of mine, you gon' get outdone. Say yourself cause Batman ain't gon' save you here in Gotham. Where everybody grew up with a hoop dream. That ain't work, so now that brother out here trying to move peas. Shoebox stash and try and stack it up for that new V. Scat packs, Hellcats, SIT, that new Jeep. Ballin' like a school team. I get gone off one of them cones, stay in my zone, no 2-3. R.I.P. to all my dogs, this Hennessy hit concrete. Free my boys behind them walls until they see us all free. Till our day come, we gon' keep on ball link, chillin'.
Coming from where I'm from. Every season's hot where I'm from. Seems like everybody got a op where I'm from. Niggas barely make it to the top where I'm from. Coming from where I'm from. We done lost a lot where I'm from. Watching for them niggas trying to plot where I'm from. Cause everybody trying to make it out where I'm from. I'm from the city of Faux now. Folks in mode now. Blocks they strolling while the cops patrolling. Or they in the trap trying to whip that baking soda. Kids gotta eat, gotta make payola. Try to survive in the windy city of Shy, where even if you got a job, you finesse on the side. Cause they steady raising taxes and the rent's getting high. It's getting hard to get by, you feel that pressure apply. Got some weight on your shoulders and some stress in your chest. Eyes bloodshot red cause you ain't getting no rest. I feel your pain, but you can climb out them depths. I know it's hard stacking bread, paying off them debts. But stay focused and maintain and keep going. And watch the ones that you keep the closest. Never leave your circle open, cause a lot of niggas out here serpents. Snakes in the grass lurking for certain. From where I'm from, every season's hot where I'm from. Seems like everybody got a op where I'm from. Niggas barely make it to the top where I'm from. Coming from where I'm from. We done lost a lot where I'm from. Watching for them niggas trying to plot where I'm from. Cause everybody trying to make it out where I'm from.
WIIFTBP.
Mellow finesse, calm and collected. You know what I'm talking? Bitch nigga disrespect, till a bitch nigga disrespect. Finesse crew.
That's why we shine wherever we go. 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 Lord. Welcome to the mind of a pothead. On my head, see a young nigga got dressed. We don't give a fuck what the cop said. I'm living a legacy, so even when I die, I am not dead. Nigga, I am not dead. Fuck with me.
Great afternoon to you wonderful people. Welcome to this Wednesday edition of I Said What I Said. We are live from inside the What's In It for the Black People Media Studios alongside Toussaint Werner. My name is Howard. Each and every, I was about to say weekday, that's not even true. Haven't been true for a while. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. we get together right here with you guys and we discuss issues that are currently impacting the black community. We discuss how those issues impact us as individuals, but also how they impact us as a collective. And along with your help, we talk through many of these issues in hopes of finding the optimum solutions for how we can overcome said issues. Again, we want to overcome them as individuals, but perhaps more importantly, we want to overcome them as a collective. Thank y'all so very, very much for choosing to be a part of this conversation. As always, your input is valued. It is certainly appreciated. Anything you want to add to the conversation, feel free to do so. We will read through as many of your comments as possible while we go through the show. We would kindly request you, please take a quick second to share the broadcast, share it on your personal page, share it even within your personal network with absolutely anyone that you think would add value to or find value in this conversation. We simply believe that the more like-minded individuals we can get to be a part of it, the better the opportunities we have of reaching those aforementioned solutions. So please, if you would be so kind, take a quick second to share the broadcast. Again, this is I Said What I Said. It is intellectual thuggery at its absolute finest. We wasn't here on Monday. It was a holiday, but we here today. My name is Herb. His name is Two. What's happening, good brother?
What's up, family? I'm blessed and highly favored.
Are you?
Is this me or is the mic keep going out over here?
I don't know. You always touching shit.
Nah, whatever, man. Anyway,
I can hear you, Mario, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it is what it is, man. Tired of shit, but we here though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, for whatever reason, I'm feeling pretty good. I didn't sleep that much. I slept for a little while, then I woke up at like 3 o'clock, and I just stayed up. And then at 6 o'clock, I was like, well, fuck it. I'm up.
I might as well just get up.
Might as well rock.
Right? I'm woke. I might as well just get up. And so 6 o'clock I got up and
it is a short in the court. My bad.
I started walking.
Just randomly walking.
You start walking.
In the crib or outside?
No, outside.
Okay.
Outside. I got up, went outside. You know I'm over east, so I just hopped over the lakefront and just started walking.
Oh, bless your heart.
Walking. I got down to the what, Reese? What?
Glad you okay. You said you was over east.
He act like over east to west side.
Says the nigga who survived 33 years out west. Are you kidding me?
We always outside, so it's
that is true. That is true. Them niggas do not go in the house.
PM, so we don't know the difference.
You got a rabbit's foot up, man, whatever. But no, it's 6 o'clock in the morning, so no, it's cool. I just hopped on the lake and just started walking. And then I like to walk on the rocks for whatever reason, because I wasn't exercising. Don't get me wrong. I don't want you to think that I was like just exercise, because I walked for like 3.5 hours. No, I walked for 3 hours. Took a 3-hour walk this morning just because. And I walked on the rocks, and so I'm just walking along the rocks, and to get to a point where it kind of run out, and then you're not like walking on like the platform thing. You literally like jumping from rock to rock to rock to rock, and then walking around a little curve. I stumbled upon places I didn't even know was on the lakefront right there. I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. I want to throw an event down here. I might do like an early morning like poetry set at this one spot I stumbled upon. It's dope as hell.
You know what? When you said it, it's funny, man. You know, I hit the bike trail every now and then. I was riding the bike the other day, signs of gentrification, might I add.
Mm-hmm.
I'm around in between 43rd and 39th. I don't know where exactly I was, but you know how the path is cut off now. It's not cut off, but it's cut up. It's like one path for riders and one path for walkers. And you know, I'm a rebel without a pause, so I never ride my bike on the riding path. I ride my bike on the walking path.
Because I do what I want.
I do what I want to do. So anyway, I'm coming back from up north, and I'm coming back to the south side. And I'm on the walking path, and there's like this grotto between 43rd and 39th. And it was the most grunge, rave-looking white folks I've ever seen. They got a DJ set up, a rock grotto set up for you to sit and listen to the DJ.
Okay.
And they looked like they was all out there coked out, but it was about 60 to 80 of them coked out, just dancing in a circle like it was a witch ritual or some shit. It was next level. I didn't know it was there. I was like, look at these white people. Boy, they move in at night.
Yeah.
They move in at night.
They come in under the cloak of darkness.
Under the cloak of darkness. And settle.
Next
It's mad, bitch.
Next thing you know, it's Chipotle's everywhere. Right. The fuck's going on?
Gentrification, bitch.
Right. Gotcha, bitch. Gotta be quicker than that.
We never sleep.
Never. Nah, man, it was fun. So I ended up I crossed over like 47th. I think I crossed over at 47th. And then I just went a little bit west on into Hyde Park, and then came back, started coming back south, stopped at Sip and Savor right there on 51st and Hyde Park.
And you doing all this walking?
Yeah, I was walking.
Yeah, you need a hobby or something.
No, I just felt like walking, man. It got good to me. The walk just got good to me. It was fun. It was peaceful. The water was
shit though, man. Get you some exercise.
The water was so calm. Like it was just real peaceful. So I just kind of took that in for a while, hopped on the rocks, and it was fun. It was a good time. Saw some interesting folks out there. It was a good time for sure. I enjoyed my 3-hour walk, man. Got me a smoothie from Sip and Savor, and finished my walk on back.
That's good shit, man. I remember I was
thought about going up in the museum for a minute just to walk around the museum, but I didn't.
Okay, well, that's dope.
Yeah.
I was out there maybe last year. It's hard to gauge when, because my children, like, you know, a year is amazing difference these days. Like, you know, I look at pictures now from last year and they look like babies, and now they look like grown people and shit. It's weird. But anyway, I was out there with Eric and Bella out there on the rocks, and we just out there chilling. And you know, Eric always got to do extra shit. And this mark slipped and was on his way in, and I had to run, jump on the rocks and grab him. You know what I mean? I'd have got him out the water. I could swim though, but he can't swim.
Yeah.
You know, and then the other day I was talking to Bella, and she was like, "You know, Daddy, he jumped in the water over there by the rocks with his friends one day, and they can't none of them still swim." I was like, "Yeah, he's stupid. He's, you know, definitely mine."
I'm stupid too, because I'm walking on the rocks. Some of them a little slippery. Get to one point in particular, somewhere between 57th and I don't know, like 53rd or somewhere over there, and you can't like walking along the rocks just kind of like cuts off, and so you have two choices: go up, walk around the grass in the path like normal people, or figure out a way to hop rocks and maneuver around this little fence.
Have you?
I chose that part.
Have you noticed how different the lake is in the last probably 2 to 3 years?
In what way?
And like who populates it? Not just who, but how it's even populated.
Oh
like,
yeah, for sure.
You know, I remember like the lake was like, first of all, like for a long time, nobody went to the lake. Right now, you go to the lake and it's like little Miami. You know what I mean? It's bikinis and thongs and toplessness everywhere these days. It's real interesting.
I'm here for it.
I am too. It's just interesting. Like you can see the culture shift. Like
I'm here for it. You got that.
Different energy.
You got Reggie's on the beach. You know Reggie's that's down on 21st and State Street.
Yeah.
They got a spot on the beach on 63rd.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
The other day.
And yeah, I go out there, have a few drinks. My homegirl Chrissy worked there. I go out there, have drinks sometimes. Yeah, I mean it is what it is. You know what I mean?
But it's just a whole new energy though. It's like you're on the ocean now. It's like you're at a resort now.
It's definitely a different vibe. I mean, I've been over there my whole life, and so I know what it looked like before. And I mean, it looks the same, but it feels a little different. It feels a little different, and you know, people getting out there and enjoying it. And I think that part of it is cool. I was walking, and these more experienced ladies were like running, right? And they was kind of like light jogging, and they come up running behind me. And then they passed me, and then they took a path that kind of like went like further east towards the water a little bit, right at 63rd and around. So I just kept walking straight. So I was in front of them. Then they come run up behind me. I'm like, they're
getting it.
These little ladies is getting it. Okay, they was getting it. I was like, that's super super dope. I can run, but it don't feel that good just yet.
I can't.
I think I gotta run more often. My Achilles still don't feel quite right. And then my Achilles was telling me too, like, hey fool, jump on another motherfucking rock around here, okay? Jump down from this rock to that rock, and then jump up to that one, and jump over there. Do that one more time, and see if we don't be in this lake. But the water was so calm, I wasn't scared. If it was like a real like choppy water day,
swim?
I cannot drown.
So no, you can't swim.
I cannot drown.
That's a different thing than being able to know how to swim.
Right, but it works if the water is calm. The water was super, super peaceful. If you go on my Instagram, I put up a couple videos from that. The water was super, super peaceful, so there was no chance for the water like sweeping me up and taking me anywhere I didn't want to go. So I could handle that water if I fell in. But
all black people under the sound of my voice, man, y'all need to learn how to swim. That's imperative. That got it. Something we got.
Imperative is a strong word. That's a stretch.
It's imperative.
It's not imperative.
It is imperative.
How is it imperative if we 45, 50 years old and we don't know how to do it? It's not imperative.
It's imperative because people die in that water, man. People die in all kinds of water.
Here's what
you never know what you got to do, and we're moving into that fourth industrial revolution.
Here's what you can do.
No jobs and no opportunities, and your ass better know how to get around. I was out.
Get around.
Whatever you got to do. I was out.
Swim in the lake.
Whatever you got to do. Yeah, whatever you got to do. I was out in Kankakee this past weekend for Memorial Day. No, I ain't even bullshit, man. So
swimming is not imperative.
They was out there fishing. Mm-hmm. And I was like, damn, that's some shit I don't know how to do.
Yeah, I don't know how to fish either. I've done it once in my life.
And I don't even like fish, but at this rate that we're going, we need to learn all that survivalist shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
But learning how to swim is not imperative.
It's important.
It's not.
It is.
It's really not.
You're a loser. I know people have died in the water. It's important.
You a loser. I know people that have died in the water.
It's important.
Of course, everybody knows somebody who's drowned before, right? It's not. It's awful, right? And every year in this city in particular, somebody fucking drowns. Usually it's white folks though. Go out there in the winter, think they can walk on the ice and stupid
they
shit.
just don't report niggas. I know a bunch of people.
No, I know a friend.
I didn't even realize how many people I knew.
Was it last year? I think last year. I won't say a friend. A guy who was a really close friend of a lot of my close friends, drowned out in the water.
Specifically with these new Negroes, right? Who got the boat parties and want to be out. You niggas is on the middle of you in the middle of this water can't swim. That's crazy to me.
I don't get out. I don't know.
You never know what's gonna happen out there. You saw Titanic. You can't tell.
You saw the Titanic.
You explained it to everybody.
Hey. Listen,
I'm just saying.
You're gonna die if that happens.
Hey.
Okay, just come to terms with that right now.
I'm just saying.
Okay, if you're in the middle of a large,
you watch that whole History Channel special Titanic, it will seem it push you to learn how to swim.
You know what I've never ever done in my life?
What?
Been on a cruise ship.
Me neither.
I'm not. That's just some dumb shit to do for me. Okay, people, it's fun, and once you get on the boat, you don't even know you're on the boat. Who don't know I'm on a boat?
Yeah, we had a boat.
Reese, you been on a cruise ship?
Boat thing for like our 8th grade graduation.
Cruise ship, but I've been downtown on one of them boats.
Hey, huff, but it's the same.
Hey,
same concept.
Stop double dutching me on this conversation, okay, Reese? All right, if you got something to say, just fucking say that shit. Stop giving me this double dutch shit like you.
I'm.
Are you doing some other shit?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
I'm on my Hollywood Herb at 8:30.
See?
Shit.
See?
I fucking be sitting in my seat on Herb.
Set
I'm
his
ready.
hair
He be,
up.
Hold on.
See? I wanna put this out there. I don't know why I'm gonna put it out there because nobody's gonna believe it. That is the biggest misconception in the history of misconceptions. That I am this like just super wild for the streets, playeristic, always getting boxed. Like that is not the case at all. But everybody believes it. And I just kind of let y'all believe it because it's a fun thing to talk about.
Hey, roll with it.
But I be caking on the real. Anyhow,
that is true. That is absolutely fucking true.
I'm a
king of the cake.
I'm really a relationship nigga. I'm not a.
That's true.
I'm not a let's go bop 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 bop.
You
bop,
definitely
bop,
king
bop,
of the cakes.
Give me
That's
like
true.
2, 3. I cake with them all day.
Yeah, but you know what? That's how most. You know what? When you start thinking about like stereotypes, right? Most of the guys who I know get the outward stereotype of like, oh, he got the ladies.
Yeah,
they really be cake as hell.
Yeah, it's super cake. That's just kind of how it be. I mean, at some point, don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? I've done my numbers, okay? But because I've done my numbers, I'm just not. That's just not what that don't even really appeal to me.
Hey man, roll with it though. Whatever works.
I flirt with everything that moves though, and so this type of shit I get. Right? I go out on a Friday night or something, hang out with the guys at the bar and go to another bar and bounce around, and then the next day I'll start getting text messages and shit like, oh, it was so nice meeting you last night, and I'm like, who the fuck is this? Gee, I don't remember talking to you, ma'am. I don't know who you are. I have no idea what you look like. Send a picture so I can see if I want to respond to this message.
Man, I had a crazy ass night shorty last night, man. Gee, I just went to T-Mobile and got me a whole new phone, man. I ain't got a nan number in here, man. Can you please tell me who
You gotta
this
go
is?
through all that. Just say who is this?
I'll read
people be feeling
I'll
offended.
read you a message verbatim, okay? if I can find it, okay?
Like, you don't know who I am in there. So I don't
even know if
I don't know who you are. Who are you? That's all it takes.
I don't even know if I kept the message, G, but I don't be
try mine. Mine probably worked better. Damn, man, you want? Can you?
No,
it's crazy in the mud, man.
That's too much work, G.
This is
like doing all that damn work.
This is what I say. Right? I said, listen. Hope you don't take this the wrong way. But I do not remember our conversation at Family Day on Friday. Okay. I ended up getting drunk as hell, and the whole night is a blur. I don't know your name. I don't know what you look like. We can stop this conversation right now, man.
If I was a girl,
what's wrong with just saying who this?
If I was a girl, I would have sent the whole picture of a dude. You don't remember talking to me, Damon?
She sent the picture. She sent the picture too. She sent the picture, but I'm like, nice meeting you, sweetheart. I was just talking shit. Okay, don't take it that serious.
Yeah, just say who this, man.
I was just talking shit. When the sun comes up, I'm walking with the Lord. Who is this? Yeah, I was just playing. Like I was flirting, and it seemed sincere. I was just playing, sweetheart. It's not that deep. It's like, oh, y'all barbecuing? Can I come over or something, sweetie? I don't know what you're talking about, love. I don't know. What I should really stop doing is stop flirting with every fucking body, and then I'll be okay.
Adds to the allure, though.
Yeah, it's fun, and I'm a big flirt. But that don't really mean I want to talk to you tomorrow, sweetheart. Like that's not.
What's flirting though, right? So some people consider anything flirting. You know what I mean? And I think you're just a people person.
I am a people person, and sometimes that line gets very, very blurred for other people. Like if I'm attracted to you and I like you like that, I'll tell you. You ain't have to guess. If you ever tell me like I think he might have been flirting with me, I wasn't. Okay, like if you'll know for 100% sure that Herb was flirting with you. You ain't got to think. You ain't got to wonder. Period.
Well, I think it's a lot of confusion. It's funny, like, I done got this moniker as the curmudgeon up in here. But truthfully, I'm a people's person too. Like I'm, personable and I talk and all that type of shit. And you just in that vein, you end up meeting and knowing a lot of people. It just kind of is what it is. But again, too, like I can see how it gets confused oftentimes. Like, I've had several altercations with my wife about, man, I don't even know who the fuck that is.
Yeah. Plus, I'm very complimentary of people. So I'll be like, oh, I really like your hair. That's nice. Really like your shoes. That's nice. Right? And it's just like, oh, I think no, I wasn't. Okay. If I was on that, I would.
But that also speaks to a whole nother issue, right? Like how we kind of got this rugged individualistic ass idea about life, where we kind of keep ourselves closed off to
Friday night box.
Just energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like can't we just vibe without like none of the extra shit?
Keep ourselves closed off the energy. I rode through Sadiq crib the other day. I dropped something off to him, and we were just sitting down chopping it up, man. And he was talking about some stuff. He's trying to get some money up doing certain things.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's all good. You know, I was like, man, I'm chasing life, G. That shit ain't all that important to me no more. And when you look around, man, it's like so many people that just not really living life. It's like, you know, you could see, I think I've had this conversation with you before. Like, you could see depression in the faces of the people in our community, man.
That's
like,
real.
Motherfuckers is just chasing the goal that ain't real to them, and they think it validates or creates value in your life, and that's just not true to me.
It don't.
You know what I mean?
You could get that bag today, and you would still feel like shit.
You still feel like shit. You still ain't gonna be shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even the conversation about the lake, like I was joking and laughing about that, but that's inspiring because the lake been there for at least my 45 years of life. It's been there.
Yeah.
And nobody really utilizes it. And
Yeah.
now it's a whole different energy. I just think that's cool, but it sucks that we learn this lesson as we dwindling down in black population across the city, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a different thing. I think that we should be able to have like certain exchanges and certain energy vibes where it's like, and that's just that. Like we just vibed. It was cool. It's not that fucking deep, right? But I think that I don't know for a myriad of reasons, and not even just between like men and women or you know whomever you made like whichever gender you choose to have sex with. Not even on some sexual shit. I've had dudes that, like take it personal that I don't remember meeting them a year ago at a function I was hosting.
You know what that is?
With 300 people there.
You know what that is?
What?
Gay!
Nigga, you gay.
Nigga, you gay.
but like for real. So like I like see him again, like, oh, what's up? I'm Herb, good to meet you. Fam, we met last year at the such and such, you was hosting that thing, and I was like, oh, all right, my G. Appreciate it. Like, we chopped it up. You don't remember chopping it up?
No.
Fam, I was hosting it. Like it was 300 people there. I chop it up with as many of those people as I can, and it's not that I'm being insincere. I am being very sincere, which is why you think I should remember because we had a genuine conversation. But that don't change the fact that I shook 200 hands that night, fam. Like I don't remember. Okay, you don't have to be tight about it either.
You gotta tell them you're not that important.
No, it's not like that. It's just how I just don't remember.
I'm Herb and you're no one. Just say that. Just say that, man.
That's not the reality.
Hey, listen.
Now you trying to make me out to be an asshole.
You're nobody.
You're trying to make me into an asshole. I'm not that way at all.
You just gotta say that sometimes. Like, hey, you're nothing. You're a PI.
You're a clown. Not that at all. It's just a mathematics thing.
Do
like,
not
fam,
remember the little people.
No, I don't remember 200 people. No, fam.
I don't remember the little
I have no idea what you're talking about, right? Like, but people be tight about, all right, well, fuck you then, okay?
Man, you're a PI.
You're stupid.
No, I get it.
That's not the
case. Energy.
You have that energy.
No, I don't have that.
You have that energy, okay?
I speak to everybody. Then I ask the person next to me, who is that?
I do that too. I did that the other day.
I do it outside.
At the barbecue at my man crib, right? Me and my man threw a little barbecue at his crib, right? We over there, and his ass got drunk the night before on some dumb shit. So I couldn't get in contact with him all morning to get started. So we don't get started till like 1 o'clock. So I go over there. I'm like, let me go ahead and expedite this process and grill some shit. So I go over there for a few hours. I'm grilling, and I got to leave and go change clothes. As I'm leaving to go change clothes, people are starting to pull up now. So there's one dude pulls up. He sees me like in my car about to pull off. He hops out of his car and he's like, "Yo, what's good?" And he walk up and he like, "Dab," yada 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 yada. I'm like, "Yeah, bro, it's real good to see you." Right? And he walks off. He's like, "Yeah, you too." He's like, "You coming back, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm coming back for sure. Like, I'll be right back. I just gotta go change clothes." He walked away, turned to my right. They're like, "Who's that? Who's dude?"
That's the go-to for me, G.
I have no idea who dude
I
was.
don't be remembering nobody. Faces, names, like, who is that? You know them?
I have no idea who.
Just roll with it.
And the problem is, a lot of these people that I ate barbecue, Sadiq, like meat.
Sadiq hit you with you eating that swine.
I didn't even eat that much for real.
Hey, Vic called me the other day, like, man, you know XYZ? And Vic has a habit of talking to me while he's on speakerphone.
Yeah.
And he's asking me that I know some woman, and he's giving me her whole rundown. She's like, yeah, she said she know you. And I'm like, no, I don't know her. I couldn't think of who it was. And then last night she put something on my Facebook like, yeah, I was with Vic. And I was like, I still don't know you.
Yeah,
that's whack, though, because now you can't even play it off like, I don't want to feel or treat people like,
I have zero desire to do that. Like, I wish I remembered, but I don't, and I don't want to run to play this game with you either. Mm. And why do people take it personal when you text them back and say, who this?
I don't, because I do it all the time.
I do it. I'm asking you, why do people take it personal?
I don't. I ain't never had that experience.
You ain't never had nobody be like, oh, you don't know who this is, or why you like, because I don't fucking know. It could be any one of a litany of reasons. Like, I could have lost my phone. I could have just not saved it. Whatever. Yeah. Why are you upset?
Like, really had that.
Who is it? Ain't clearly we don't talk all the time. So just say your name or not. Either way, get off my phone. You're getting on my nerves now.
Hey man, ROW just sent us this article real quick, and Boog sent it to me. Boog and Leah sent it to me in our group chat earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It's an article about these white kids in Jersey City leveraging or learning how to play the drums through the buckets. Right? It's a whole kids finding their rhythm through the buckets. Look at this, man. It's a
white
whole
bucket boys now?
Camp of white people learning how to play the buckets.
Everything we do.
Yeah, think about that. And then think about how, they running them off the corners here in Chicago.
Yeah.
And now they're charging people to learn how to play the buckets.
Yeah. Yeah, and think about why we do it and how we started.
And it's something, man.
Right, out of just pure necessity.
Food, you know
Not only out of pure necessity to make a buck, but also out of the fact that we don't have fucking drums. Okay, if we had drums, we would play drums. But we don't. We got buckets and sticks, and so we do it on that. But then y'all see like, oh, that's raw. Let's make that a thing for white kids to do.
Yeah, man, creativity grows out of.
It'll be on the Grammy soon.
Yeah, but that's what creativity comes from. Lack, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So. But it's just interesting, how they can take it and change it into an organized operation.
Yeah, turn it into a whole genre.
Wow, we do it and it's a crime.
Yeah,
Reefer,
we're loitering,
soul food, all the things you can think of is just
we bothering people downtown. Like, yeah, no, that's.
But that's kind of the American way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wherever there's opportunity, and it's anything. Like think about the internet or whatever, right? So the inception of the internet. Right, it's the wild, wild west, and if you in early enough, you can win. You can get whatever you want. Like I got a partner out in Phoenix, man, young boy too. Met him randomly, caked up, made a whole lot of money.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Got involved in the internet earlier in the Napster days.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine what Napster was doing. It was like putting out music, like before streaming music was a real thing, and they was putting out music for you to download for free, right? And it was essentially set of ads. That's how they was making money. Young boy was in college at the time trying to be a rapper. And he was like, man, how can I get other people to check out my music? And he said, and this is, again, Napster's not even completely like a big deal right now. He don't even know what Napster is. He was like, I'm going to upload other notable artists. And then because they're looking for their stuff, they'll slip up and find mine and listen to my music.
Yeah.
He said he created it. He said the first day he put it up, he launched it. The server lost out. It failed him because there was so much traffic on the site. Did it again, server crashed again. Had a white boy roommate whose daddy was invested in like wood, like he owned wood in general. I just own wood.
I own the color blue.
Yeah, I own the color blue. I own the letter R, that kind of dude.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Dude dropped the bag behind him, and he went to town with like little small sites like that, centered around music and music culture, and made a mint. Nobody knows who he is. Nobody, you know what I mean? But got all kind of bags. You know what I mean?
Of course.
But it was really just the wild, wild west. But what happens is when something is in its early stages, the infancy of it usually is the wild, wild west. And you can eat off of it. And then what white supremacy does and what the American government does is put sanctions around all that shit, closes all the gaps, and only allows the people that they want in the room. And those who violate because they're not allowed in the room, they become criminals, i.e. marijuana. You know what I mean? It's the same kind of concept.
Yeah. No, the absolute same kind of thing, right? Y'all do something, we don't like it, freeze y'all out. We take it over, make it into a whole entire industry where people are getting rich off of it. And it's like, but again, G, whose fault is that, right? I don't want to get into this too soon. I kind of want to talk about this in the 2 o'clock hour.
Let's do that.
But your boy Joe Biden is under the same act, right? He's doing the same shit right now, and we continue to fall into that trap. We continue to placate him with that kind of stuff, man. It's just, I don't know, man. Again, like I said last week, I am past the point of, being upset or surprised at how white people do or don't respond to things, or how they act or don't act about certain things. I'm really focusing my energy and spending my time on how we react or don't react to certain things, because they're gonna do what they're gonna do what they've always done. And the question is, are we gonna do something different? And if we do, then we can change the circumstances. If we don't, it's gonna be what it always has been.
What would you think the expectation is? You think we're gonna change?
Is that the expectation? No. The greatest indicator of future behavior is past behavior. I mean, the greatest predictor. You know what I mean? Nah, I don't think that. So, but I think that there are enough of us who already understand that we got to do something different, and I think that the amount of people who understand that is growing, and we just got to get busy. G.
Adrian Anderson, caked up means it has a plethora of meanings. When I say caked up, I mean he had a lot of money. Cake, dough, scratch.
She
money.
could also be caked up.
Right. Oh, and Brandon responds, said laid up together. You could be caked up like that too.
Oh, that caked up too.
Yeah, it's a plethora of definitions.
Yeah. Context clues.
Context clues.
Context clues is Wiz OG.
Yeah, but when I said it, I was talking about having a bag of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, man, to the Joe Biden thing, reaching out to the barbershops. Also, Tulsa, the anniversary of the
Tulsa massacre.
Yeah, the Black Wall Street was the past weekend, and I saw a lot of rumblings about that and conversations about that, and I missed some of it. But I know Teslin Fierro I don't want to say from Fox, but she's a Fox contributor. But she's a dope sister though. I like Teslin a lot. But she had said something about Biden, and Biden had said something very obnoxious to the black community, and I didn't get a chance to check that out or see what it was, so I'm not going to speak on that. But whatever it was, Teslin was part of that. She was a part of the Bernie Sanders campaign.
Okay.
And she had some interesting takes on Bernie Sanders, and she dropped off that part of that campaign, but then she jumped behind Biden in the election, as most of the Democrats or the Democratic pundits did. But she kind of was like, I'm withdrawing from this Biden bullshit. I'm sick of dude. So I'm really interested in hearing what he said. But just to the Tulsa point, man, I think I had a conversation with Sadiq about this too, but I was listening to something on, I think it was NPR maybe, and some organization had somehow raised some money for the surviving victims of Tulsa. And I think it was Sadiq who said, man, it's interesting to me about how much marketing and promotion go into remembering Black Wall Street. And if you took that dollar amount that went into the marketing and promotion of remembering Black Wall Street
and recreated it,
you could probably rebuild Black Wall Street. Right? And it just brought me to thinking about this group who didn't raise this money for the surviving members of Black Wall Street. And they had said, they was talking about it like they had achieved something or accomplished something. They was like, man, we're going to give all of them $100,000 a piece. Now, if you think about when Black Wall Street happened, for you to be a surviving member of that, you probably had to be an infant when it took place, if you're still alive. And even if you're still alive, you'd have to be like 100 and something. You know what I mean? So raising $100,000 from them people, I was thinking in my head, like, how much money did they raise?
Right.
$300,000?
Right.
How many survivors could that actually be? And Sadiq had a great point in the sense that, all the money that goes into talking about this and marketing the idea behind Black Wall Street, you could legitimately rebuild one. And it just shows you what the value system is.
I came across something else in looking at all of the, Black Wall Street and Tulsa Massacre stuff this weekend. And there was one that was talking about specifically how, after it was burned down, that we actually rebuilt it, right? That Black people rebuilt it. And it was viable and vibrant again. But instead of coming to burn it down, what came next was integration. And it was like, oh, well, instead of building this all our own thing, we can be with the white folks now. So everybody together and happy and jolly. It's like, damn, fam, we was on the right track. Like, okay, they burned it down once. We learned how to fortify it, protect it, build it again. It was like, oh no, it's keep your enemies closer type thing. And I think that, for whatever benefits we were trying to get out of integration, I think the cons were much greater.
I don't disagree, but I also think there's a larger conversation at play. We got to really dive into the depths of how capitalism works. And we talk about integration. Like, think about the mental capacity it takes to just buy black. And I mean that in the sense of when you think about the opportunities to buy black. Right. So you just talked about going to Sip and Save or whatever, right? So we got Sip and Save, and be clear. And I don't want to say I'm just starting to recognize that, but I've been on the low end for the last 20 years of my life, like solidified on the low end. And I think about that, and I love 95th Street, and I claim 95th Street, but I don't spend very much time past 67th Street. It's just not no life happening that way, right? None of my opportunities are that way. So most of my movements are 67th Street North. You know what I mean? But with Eric being over at the school on 103rd now, I'm over there every day. Right. And I'm looking at the dilapidation. I'm looking at how scarce the neighborhoods are. Like there's just no life. You know what I mean? And you start thinking about it in a different context, specifically, like even listening to Maze, but outside even Maze's show this morning, I got the rental property on 74th Street, which is Inglewood, essentially. And I remember just sitting in the car one day in front of the rental property, and I saw like 3 Mexican families. And that startled me because you just don't see Hispanic families on 74th and Perry. That just ain't what's happening. You know what I mean? And they was like authentic Mexicans. You know what I mean? Tattoos and everything, like MS-13 Mexicans. You know what I mean? Like, what y'all doing here? Y'all not supposed to be here. You know what I mean? Y'all supposed to be way further west.
They finna have a cart on the corner in a minute. It's selling y'all all kind of shit. Yeah.
It's happening, right? And they're moving in. And they moved into one of the cribs over there. And I was like, damn, that's interesting. But the way the game goes, man, it's like because of the way capitalism works and because of the scarcity of opportunities and because of just how money flows, what you end up doing is you buy based on the cheapest price when you're poor. Most times, 9 out of 10 times. And that's going to come from large chains because they're getting everything at a very cheap price. So it's an economic move right now. And I'm only talking about this because Patrick Brutus had brought it up over the weekend. He was like, why can't we create another Black Wall Street? And I want us to think about this in the context of Walmart. Walmart is a huge conglomerate. Huge. Goo gobs of money. Think about what happened when Amazon came around and how fast they're putting Walmarts and Targets out of business. If Walmart and Target can't compete, a motherfucker that got a median net worth of $30,000, it ain't happening. It ain't gonna never happen. So I don't care how convicted you are in your thoughts and your ideas, you don't even have the option.
I hear you and I understand exactly what you're saying on that, right? But I think that we still have, we absolutely must do the very best we can with what we have. And so whatever Black businesses they are, we have to make sure that they're viable, that they're sustainable, that they're healthy, and that they're expanding, right? Because I went to Sip and Savor right there on 51st and 53rd and Hyde Park Boulevard. But 2 doors down from that used to be a Mickey's Retro Grill, right? There's a Mickey's now on 80th and Stony, 81st and Stony, whatever. And that one's probably like the main one now, but that one right there on Hyde Park used to be there too. And that one's closed now, right? And you know, I think that anytime we do have these businesses, we got to make sure that they are well. And so for me, before a white establishment pops into my head, I done went through 10, 11 Black restaurants that I might want to go eat at. You know what I mean?
But that's also kind of why I preference us being on the east side and the low end. Because you get past 79th Street. That shit don't exist. In no capacity. It just ain't there. You know what I mean? So you got on, you like, all right, randomly I felt like walking this morning. And you could legitimately walk your ass to Sip and Save. You know what I mean? I ride the bike all the time. If I wanted to go to any Black coffee shop, any Black restaurant, just because of location, geographically, I can pretty much find that out. You know what I mean? Since I've been rocking with this vegan shit, I don't think I've eaten out in the streets that wasn't a Black-owned restaurant. You know what I mean? But I'm just, again, context. Going to 103rd every day now, it's like,
not an option.
That's not an option. You know what I mean? It's just not an option. So to have that kind of a commitment, like that kind of fortitude to say, I'm only going to do this, or I'm going to try hard to do this. And I'm not knocking, I get it. But the overall conversation is, it's not just a matter of us being committed to engaging us. It has to be a rethinking of how capitalism works. And this is for everybody. This is for white folks too. If you under the sound of my voice and you white, you should be paying attention. We have to at least get that demon under control. Because if you can't, there will never ever be an opportunity for you to make money again. And that's why I mentioned Walmart and Amazon. You know what I'm saying? Amazon is such a big conglomerate. When you think about how Amazon works, they're gonna price everybody out. I remember when I used to hustle like clothes and shit. I used to sell clothes like fresh out of college. If you get one T-shirt in Walmart, you're a millionaire. At that time, Amazon didn't exist, right? But in order to get a T-shirt in Walmart,
you had to take their price first of all.
You had to get it at a wholesale price of $1.10. That's the T-shirt, the cotton, the design, everything for under $1. You had to be able to wholesale it at $1.10, and your profit had to come out of that $1.10. You know what I mean? The viability of somebody finding that on U.S. soil is irrational. You can't do that. The only place you're going to get them kind of numbers is if you're going to a third world country and exploiting the shit out of them people. Exploitation is how capitalism works.
Yeah, I mean it works well. Like for a long time, Walmart set their own prices, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, from the distributors, I mean, from the producers, right? To say like, yo, even to large corporate like Procter and Gamble, y'all want to put Tide in Walmart? Cool. How y'all selling it for what? $5 a unit? All right, we got $2.50 a unit for y'all. Okay, period. Take it or leave it, right? And as Procter and Gamble, at a certain time, or anybody, you couldn't walk away from your Walmart contract. You couldn't not sell your product in Walmart because you might as well just not fucking sell it no more.
Yeah, it's
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so now they telling you what you go, what they gonna pay you for your product. And you know, Amazon is now doing the same thing. Like, no, now we don't even got to come to Walmart. We gonna take it to their front door. So fuck y'all. And now we telling them $1 a unit. Okay, it's like who can mass produce at a level.
Amazon is legitimately just using Walmart's business plan.
It is their business plan.
That's it.
Right? It's just online and we bring it to your door.
That's it.
Right? It's y'all's business plan, but because we bring it to y'all door, because we don't have we don't have as much overhead now. We don't have all the stores, we don't have all the employees, you know what I mean? It's a different kind of thing. And so we go to these same companies and say, we give you $1 a unit for that shit. And then the company's got to figure out, how can I possibly make a profit if I'm moving my product at $1 a unit? Well, I got to send all the jobs to the middle of nowhere where I can pay you a penny a day for it. You know what I mean? And more jobs continue to leave. The desperation gets tighter and tighter and tighter. You begin to squeeze the bottom caste, which is us, right? And then we love to figure shit out, right? And then what does figuring shit out look like? You know what I'm saying? It looks like
moving to Ghana. That's what it looks like.
Or it looks like shit like fucking Bucket Boys, right? And then y'all can get locked up and shoot away from downtown and shoot away off the street for this until white folks decide, oh, it's an industry. Okay? It is like it's a lose-lose. And so you gotta get a hold of capitalism, right? Understood. But at the same time, while you're existing in it, you got to do the best that you can while you exist in it. And I think that we can absolutely do a better job of.
Me too. Buy a lot of guns, rob these motherfuckers. That's my advice. I'm telling you, rob their ass now. Get the money while you can. Rob their ass now.
You get no argument from me on that.
That's all you got going.
You get no argument from me on that.
That's all. That's all the option.
But I'm saying, just like, it does take a certain level of intentionality, right, to buy black in that way, right? I'm very, very committed to it, right? And so I'm to the point where almost all of my wardrobe is like black shit, you know what I mean? As I sit in here with a fucking Nautica shirt on right now.
But even that's a fallacy, though. And I'm going to tell you why.
No, it's not.
But it is, though.
Okay.
Right? So when you go to the black retailer again.
Okay, they buying Hanes t-shirts and shit.
Like, you still spending white money. You can't get away with this shit.
I get it, right? We don't produce the cotton. The irony of us not producing the cotton.
Ain't that a bitch?
Okay.
The irony of slavery largely being about clothes.
Yes.
Ain't that a bitch?
Yes. And the fact that we don't have clothes. So even if I got my own clothing company, right, I'm just really putting my name on a Hanes t-shirt or a Fruit of the Loom t-shirt.
And the bulk of the cost is there.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
It's where you buy the t-shirt at, right? More so than putting your name on it.
That's it.
No, I feel you, right? I feel you.
It's an interesting conundrum to be in. That's all I'm saying.
And I agree with you wholeheartedly. I'm just saying that while we wherever you go, there you are, right? And so if that's where we at, then we gotta do what we can in that space.
That's right. Buy guns, robbery. I'm telling you, that's the move, G. I'm telling you, that's it. That's the only thing that me and Sadiq was having this conversation too.
Okay, but then you gotta build that militia because everybody don't need a gun and rob motherfuckers. A lot of people gonna die doing that stupid shit.
That's how war works.
No, you get motherfuckers who think they want to do that shit, and then you train them to go do the shit. You don't just be like, hey, fight over there. Who want to go ahead?
That's the American philosophy. That's the Western philosophy. Most wars fought around the world are guerrilla warfare, and it's not the same concept of training. It's really GDs from 63rd, armed up and let's go get it.
That's fine, but even that is done with a level of militarism that is done with some training and some intentionality. It ain't just grab a gun and bust that motherfucker. It's not exactly that, bro.
Hell no.
No. There are leaders. There are some structure. There are some plans.
I hear you. But
and I'm with you. I'm with you in totality on that piece. And I think that we can do that, right? I think you got a lot of street leaders and shit right now, right? King Von could have got every nigga from 64th and 65th to bear arms and go get at whatever he said get at. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like there are shorties out here in these streets with that kind of charisma, right? If you had if King Von and Lil Durk and FBG Duck didn't want to fucking kill each other.
They'd have to change their goals, though. But
sure, of course.
Getting back to...
But I'm saying they have the ability to galvanize a large group of young men for a common cause.
To the Cuban Revolution that I always speak about, right? When you think about, the 80 that set sail and landed on Cuba, and then, what was it, 60, it was 63 of them that got killed the first night. Was it 63? 63 or 53, I don't remember.
How many they start with 80? Yeah, 63 of them.
Yeah, so 63 of them left. I mean, 63 of them got killed as soon as they landed, and then 17 left. Out of those 17, only 2 that became viable, popular, influences in the historic lexicon is Che Guevara and Fidel Castro, right? And Fidel Castro, not knocking Fidel Castro, both was geniuses, both was brilliant men, but Che Guevara kind of led that revolution through the hills of Cuba to rebuild an army, right? And what allowed Che Guevara to rebuild the army, and this is the conversation me and Sadiq was having the other day, was that, Sadiq was like, man, we can outthink these people. We can do this and do that. And I thought about that, and I was like, I don't disagree there. And I thought about it in this context. There's not like a white philosopher, a white theologian. There's not like a white author that just awes me to inspiration. And that's not even based on no racial bias. I read for information. And it's not, I can't really think of none off the top of my head. It's like just moved me to like, damn, that was deep. You know what I mean? Noam Chomsky, maybe. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's a few. It's really rare though. Yeah. Right? So when you think about it, they rule with an iron fist.
You have to.
Right? It's not their thinkers that move their policy or their ideas forward. It's their militarized, militant mindsets.
Can you whoop my ass, though?
Can you whoop my ass, though?
Yes.
Right? I.e. back to Che Guevara.
Yes.
Right? Che Guevara was a brilliant man.
Yes.
But he moved through the world like a fucking insane person.
Yeah.
His whole shit was, I'll put this pistol in your mouth and blow your brains out without a second thought. So you got to make a decision as soon as you see me.
Yeah.
Either you rolling or you getting rolled over.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Get down and lay down.
All this brilliant shit going on in here means nothing when I'm behind the trigger of this pistol.
It doesn't fucking matter, right? It's fucking Stringer Bell versus Avon Barksdale or Marlo Stanfield, right? Stringer Bell, in his mind, I'm smart as fuck.
Man
right?
without a country.
You're a man without a country. It don't fucking matter, right? You're trying to play this other game. You're taking all these economic classes and you're talking about inelastic and elastic products and all this shit. That sounds great, my G. What are you gonna do when Marlo sends Chris over here to put a gun in your mouth? Okay, that's wonderful.
Get out and lay that.
Okay,
that's how this shit goes.
That's wonderful. Okay, yeah, y'all want this territory? Okay, cool. Okay, we're gonna beat all of their asses with baseball bats. Then we're gonna shoot them in the head. Okay, like. Fuck what you talking about, sir. That doesn't matter.
Shoot some shit up and go together.
Marlo, String set that meet with Marlo. He wouldn't have talked to Marlo for about 15 minutes. All the most brilliant shit in the world. Man, you a student of history, man. You know this is going to do that. When you got that Benz out there tied up in your auntie name. They're going to use that straw purchase. All this extra stupid shit. I mean, smart shit, I mean. Marlo didn't say a fucking word. He left out the thing. He told Chris, he said, hey, tell our people to tool up. Okay, fuck all this other shit he talking about. Tell our people to tool up. We're gonna beat their ass and we're gonna take over the West Side. We gotta take a break. When we come back from break, y'all president is at it again. That's y'all man's. Okay, that's y'all man's. Chucks and pearls. Him and his lady. Okay, they at it again. They need you niggas to help them out, and I bet y'all come to their aid. Gonna have that conversation on the other side of the break. This is I Said What I Said. Herb 2 till 3. We'll be right back.
WIIFTBP.
Saturday, June 19th, 2021. Grab the family and join the Woodlawn for the second annual Juneteenth block party. Join the Woodlawn team for a day of vendors, activities, DJs, live music and broadcasts, rooftop experiences, and much more. Vendor space is still available. For tickets and more information, please visit www.thewoodlawn1200.com. That's www.thewoodlawn1200.com. We do this for the culture.
Stop what you're doing, cause I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to.
Broken screen? Crash system? Are you in need of spyware or virus removal from your computer? Well, contact RPC Computer Repair in South Shore and let us help you with all your computer repair services and print needs. Need office or print production services, copies, scans, fax, or even notary service? Then stop by and support RPC Computer Repair and Print Shop located 1741 East 71st Street in the 71st Street corridor, newly revitalized South Shore areas, and let RPC be your one-stop shop, where we believe RPC is your PC. RPC Computer Repair is also a UPS access point, where you can drop off and pick up your important packages. So let RPC be of service to you. Call RPC Computer Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. through 6 p.m. at 773-966-4457. That's 773-966-4457. Visit RPC at rpccomputeringinc.com for more information.
We all remember our life before COVID-19. The parades, the lakefront barbecues, taste of Chicago, the happy hours, and most importantly, loving those unforgettable moments with our friends and families. Getting Chicago vaccinated is what will make the activities we miss safe for everyone. So let's get back to it, Chicago. Let's come together to end this pandemic. Find your vaccine at chi.gov/COVIDvax.
Let me take them panties off, back up to the wall. Ain't nobody gotta know, we gon' take it slow. 'Cause tonight's just you and me, feel your fantasies. About 11 o'clock when I hit the club, body looking tight when she rolling up. Shawty got class, she a freaky dame. I whisper in her ear, can I know your name? She was playing chord, trying to beat the scene. I could see it in her eyes, she was feeling me. So we took a couple shots, then we blew the tree. I got a feeling right coming home with me. What you got is something special, babe. You so real, that's something special, babe. Let me take you to a special place. I'm gonna tear that ass up. Let me take them panties off, back up to the wall. Ain't nobody gotta know, we gon' take it slow. 'Cause tonight's just you and me, feel your fantasies.
Don't let nobody in my head, but I might as well since you up in my bed. Oh baby, take a lead. You know just what I need. I know I used to like it slow, but tonight I'm on a different kind of floor. I know you will want me over anytime I wanna when I'm sober. Our sessions never been lazy. You never cease to amaze me. Pick one, don't make me beg. Open arms or open legs.
Let me take them panties off, back up to the wall. Ain't nobody gotta know, we gon' take it slow. 'Cause tonight's just you and me.
Welcome back, family. We are live from inside the What's In It for the Black People Media Studios alongside Toussaint Werner. My name is Howard. In the production studio, handling business for the squad is Reese, the ruler. Reese, the people say they missed Week Ho Wednesday last week. Are there going to be Week Ho's done this Wednesday or what?
You know what? I wasn't, but I've been doing no disrespect to the boss, but I've been doing. I'm so sorry, I ain't got two mic on. My bad. No, that was me. I ain't pushed the button right here. But so man, I've been on the Maze Jackson show for like over 2.5 weeks, but because I got this very beautiful voice, he won't let me speak. So I only get he give me the traffic weather report. He be like, I got 180 people following. I told him he can get 350 if he just let me talk. Cause as soon as I say something, they be like, damn.
They gonna take them panties off,
slide them. Right, that's what I'm saying. So I really just want to come back on Week Ho Wednesday and just talk shit. I really ain't wrote shit out.
Okay.
But the lack of the conversation, he's sitting over there with this beautiful mind and his beautiful voice, and I'm just sitting there on camera. Even though I'm looking good, you know what I'm saying? But so I just really want to come on now. I probably talk some
Streets
shit
of Bolingbrook.
Yeah, the streets of Bolingbrook, they're not ready for authentic West Side
You
shit.
muted my mic today.
Yeah, he's not.
You got tired of Stroll to talk, but you won't let me.
Because Todd ain't got shit to say. Okay.
Out of what's that 3-hour show? Todd might.
I got 15 minutes.
Todd dropped 30 words.
Todd might say 7 minutes worth of words.
Okay. Hell no. 30 words. Okay. And Maze likes it that way. Okay.
That might be right, Maze.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree, man.
Ruthie, I disagree.
There, you know, I can see you right. He did say
Ruthie, I disagree.
Yeah, good idea, Maze.
So I'm like, I don't, but I'm gonna come.
That's
back
how Maze likes it, man.
shit.
Hey, Maze say, this is one star of the Maze Jackson show, okay? They say, listen, I get the big picture, y'all get the little small pictures on the side. Okay? Give me the big picture, y'all take these little small pictures on the side, and y'all and deal with that, fam. Okay?
I'm hemorrhoid. I'm the leader. You ever heard that?
What?
It's a skit on the rap album. He's like, I'm hemorrhoid. I'm the leader.
Maze don't play that, man. Maze don't play that. When we was working at the other station together, me and Maze worked together for like a week, trying to find Maze the codes for the morning show. Our shows was bomb as hell, okay? Hella engagement, hella phone calls, range was good. We didn't say a word to each other in between the breaks or before the show or after the show. Maze was like, fuck that, okay? This nigga's not gonna be on this show. Give me, yeah, Maze, sure. Hey, I ain't mad at Maze. He says, I'm the star of my team. Anyhow, told y'all
Michael Jordan.
That's it.
I'm the owner and the player.
I'm the owner and the player, baby. Okay.
Killing all you Kwame Browns out here. You know what I mean?
Get the fuck out of here. Okay.
We ain't having none of that Kwame Brown shit.
Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. BT
Ain't nobody
is
come
a
to
fool.
see you, Otis.
Hey, BT, happy birthday, my brother. BT got a birthday tomorrow, man.
Oh, man, happy birthday, family.
I think the big 4-0 too, man.
Oh, man, y'all getting old.
I had lost some weight, Q. I found it, though. I definitely found it.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
Ain't nobody coming to see you. Hey, Brandon's stupid as hell, man. Anyhow, I was one of Maze's too. He didn't like it. Anyhow, moving right along. I told y'all before the break, man, that y'all boy Joe Biden is back on it. He is back on it. He ran a whole campaign telling you how much that he needed black folks, right? And how racist Donald Trump was and how he had to change it, and black folks. And he got in office off of black folks. They ran their whole black campaign, the Howard University, the Chucks and Pearls, I was Barack's VP, all that shit. We ate it up, hook, line, and sinker. He's in the Oval Office. 100 days in, he's giving gays a bill. He's giving Asians a bill. He's giving niggers nothing. Okay? Absolutely nothing for y'all. Okay? Asian people got a hate crime bill passed in 30 days. We ain't got one in 400 years. Okay? But he needs y'all again. And so he is back knocking on the black door. Joe Biden is initiating a campaign to recruit 1,000 black-owned barbershops and beauty salons to serve as community vaccination hubs where you get information about getting the vaccine, encourage people to get vaccines, and maybe some of them will even set up sites to be vaccinated.
How long do you think it's going to take when to get 1,000 to comply?
He's got it right now. It's cooked. It's over with.
By 5, it's over.
It's over with. Okay, it's over with.
I don't know, man. I think there's some backlash in the community. Man.
Backlash my ass, sir.
Not necessarily with the Biden campaign, but I'm saying with the vaccinations in general. Like, I'm hearing a lot of conversations.
That's why he's coming at you. And that's why he's knocking on your niggas' door, because not enough black people are doing it. It's like, hey, why aren't y'all sure? Aren't y'all doing what I told y'all to do? November, y'all did exactly what I told y'all to do. What's going on now? Right? And so he's like, okay, where can I find you guys? Okay? At the barbershop, in the beauty salon. You talk about it all the time. It's the only industry that we keep for ourselves, right? Because we ain't gonna let nobody play in our hair, right? So it's gonna be black people cutting our hair. Most of the time it's gonna be black people doing our hair, although some Middle Eastern descent people are moving in on that industry in terms of women's hair as well. But by and large, we
that
still do our own
thing
hair.
Ain't gonna never change though, G.
Yeah, barbershops, no.
Y'all ain't no brothers gonna let nobody else.
There's zero chance of white dudes cutting my hair.
It's zero chance of anybody other than brother cutting my hair.
Zero
Matter of fact,
chance.
I'm at a point at this place in life right now. It's like 70% of even the brothers I don't want cutting my hair. Every time I show up to a new barber, it's the worst experience I've ever had.
Zero chance. It's trash.
Yeah, this is probably one of the worst breakups I've had, G. This is getting
It's
tough.
tough.
On me.
It's tough.
Yeah, it's tough on me. I got to find somebody, man. I'm out here hurting.
It's hard. I'll send some recommendations, but we talked about it before. That ain't really how niggas find barbers.
That ain't work. Your head ain't my head.
He cut your head.
Show how guys are more faithful to their barber than they woman.
Big
know
facts.
What I'm saying? You send somebody, they be like, man, man, let me see your line and your shape. But like you got a line.
Who your barber?
T-shirt. He out west. I don't know if you gonna.
The nigga's name is T-shirt.
We out west with it.
Well, his name was. I mean, shit. His real name is Teran. So
T-shirt it is.
Or T-shirt. AT.
My nigga T-shirt.
Yeah, and nowadays barbers got like mine. They got like a bookie now.
Yeah.
So you gotta like
appointments only.
Yeah. Like book your appointment.
Yes, they got they got Booksy. They got a couple other ones, Vigaro, something like that.
Yeah, all of them got it.
Yeah.
But you can walk in still though.
And some of them, you absolutely cannot walk in.
Right. If you cracking, you're not walking in.
They gonna be like,
yeah, no, I can't. My barber. I got two. I got the dude who used to cut my hair when I was in college, and I liked him a lot. But then I met another dude when I lived in Champaign, and then he was cutting my hair for like 5-6 years when I lived out there. Then we both moved back to the crib, and so he been cutting my hair the whole time. So now I kind of got two. Style C, yeah, it's a bunch of them. But anyway, you're absolutely right. But either way, Barack, same thing. Joe Biden understands where he can find y'all at. So okay, let me get the barbershops and the beauty salons on this campaign. Problem is for me, how come every time he needs something, he can come find you? When we want something, we can't reach you. You ain't trying to hit shit. We got to say when we want something.
But are we asking for something? And if we are asking for something, who's in charge of asking?
And how are we going about asking for it?
Right. So again, we got to think about it's a class conversation, right? Going even to the Che Guevara, Fidel Castro conversation, right? Che was in the streets. He was on the ground floor, right? So when they took over, you understood who leadership really was. It was these kind of cats.
Yeah.
Right? When you start thinking about the black legislative body, the black power populace, the black power caucus, or even just the black elite class, right? And even that's a fallacy itself, because what's it take to be in the black elite class? It takes $100,000 and you part of the black elite.
Right.
Right? But when you listen to those people speak, you recognize that they're still subservient to that $100,000. You know what I mean? There's no real freedom. They're subservient to whatever that capital is. And most times it's not even a lot of capital. You know what I mean? We talk a lot about, we live in Chicago. Chicago is the mecca of American descendants of slaves. Right? You think about this, we got a black mayor, we got a black lieutenant governor, police
County
chief,
president, police chief, state's attorney.
Go down the line. But is there any black power here?
No, hell no.
You understand what I'm saying? So what's that really look like? Who could be the asking party? Who's the person asking for what's needed when we got all this black representation, but very little black power, or none for that matter at a lot of levels?
They figured it out during Obama's presidency, in my personal opinion. When President Obama was in office, there was like, oh shit might change, right? You thought that for a year or two, maybe you even thought it for 4 years, right? And it was like, oh, second term he gonna go crazy, right? None of that happened, and so they realized, you know what? We don't even have to be in the office to continue running this shit.
It's a strategy.
Y'all can have all of it.
To that same point.
So you resign, fucking Rahm get his ass up out of here. He ducked the Laquan shit. Like, cool. Y'all can have it. We still control it.
But to that same point, there was an article that came out this week about Obama. It was like a Yahoo article where he was like, my hands were tied to deal with the racial animus under my 2 terms as president.
No more so than Donald Trump's were.
Right, but your hands weren't tied. This just wasn't your job. You was just the new manager at Burger King.
Period.
You wasn't changing the menu, fam.
Period.
I.e. the same, the black caucus, the 18 black aldermen, the black state's attorney. And I love, some of these people I actually like and admire, but the system is the system. You know what I mean? It's systemic.
It is what it
is. It's a systemic construct.
Right.
You know what I mean? So let's say you go in there with good intentions.
Right.
Right? All them good intentions just gonna pave a road to hell for you because the system is the system.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. And I know that sounds kind of like
defeatist or whatever.
Defeatist, but that's what systemic means. This is how this shit runs. So if we're gonna approach it, we gotta approach it from a very different perspective. Right? It's like a wheel. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to stop that fucking wheel before you fix that tire.
Remember on Passenger 57? I know this is an old movie and I don't even know why it just popped into my head. But when Wesley Snipes was trying to take back the plane from the hijackers, you remember what he did?
I never watched that movie. I ain't really a fan of Wesley Snipes.
All right, cool. I'll tell you what he did. He went down into like the engineering electric control room, whatever, right? And he fucking dumped the fuel.
Yeah. We all gonna die.
30,000 feet in the air, he takes the fucking fuel gauge out. Like, this plane has to come down, okay? Okay, if we let it go to wherever we going with wherever they taking it to, we cook. Okay, we got to get this fucking plane on the ground, one way or the other. And if this is the only way, then this is the way we going. And that's what the fuck he did. But you got to deal with the reality of that decision too. You know what I'm saying? But we don't want to do that. We do not want the plane to come down. We just think that eventually they're gonna come out the pilot, they're gonna come out the cabin and let us get in there. Fam, no the fuck they aren't. Okay. No, they aren't. They got all the resources. They got all the power. Take it or take it. Okay.
Yeah, but that has to be the conversation, right? How do
For
you
real.
get this plane out the air?
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't change it while it's flying.
Nah.
You're not gonna fix it. You're not gonna.
No,
fix
you're
the
not.
plane while it's flying. You got to get this shit on the ground.
You do.
And that's kind of has to be the philosophy. I.e., why I always talk about changing the values, right? Because at the end of the day, going back to the conversation I was having with Sadiq, the goal is it's one singular goal for everybody I've ever met in my life. Whether they articulate it in the same way or not, it's get to money. Right? It might be cloaked in I want to be successful. It might be cloaked in I want to be famous.
Sure.
It might be cloaked in I want to be stable.
Yeah.
It
Or
might be
I want to
cloaked-
change my community.
It might be cloaked in whatever it's cloaked in, but the actual
I want to praise God.
value set is the capital behind that you think empowers you to do these things. You know what I mean? And that's just not necessarily true, right? Going back to you being a people person in those conversations,
Yeah.
there's a human spirit that we all harness that has energy attached to it. And that energy has the ability to move rooms in the same capacity that money does.
It does.
You know what I mean? But that's not our goal. Our goal isn't to be better human beings. Our goal is to be better capitalists.
That's it.
So when you look at it from the bottom of that, when you're at the bottom of that social construct,
You're not trying to crash the plane.
not even not.
I mean, I don't want to crash it either. You're not trying to bring it down.
You ain't even seen what the cockpit look like. You don't know what a cockpit is.
That's what I'm saying. You have no
So you
chance
have
of getting
this
in there.
idealized view of what could be. Right? But if you study the plane, the basic design, you know what I mean? You can't. So there was this movie, a Stephen King movie, right? And I can't remember the name of it. But it was a gunner from a World War II pilot aircraft. He was a gunner. So if you knew how those planes were built, the gunner got into his position before the plane took off. And it was a separate part of the plane. It was not a part of the plane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you.
So he's on the plane, but he can't
But
go
he's not
nowhere
in the-
but
right.
where he is. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the positioning you're in at the bottom of that totem pole. Yeah, you want to ride, but you're in this compartment here, and there's no access to the actual plane.
Right.
So even when that plane crashes,
You have the complete mercy of wherever they take it.
that's it, right? The part of that Stephen King movie was that they was in a war battle, and I don't know who it was, the Japanese maybe might have shot the plane up, and the landing gear wouldn't land. So they were gonna have to land on the belly of the plane, i.e., instantly crushing him because he could not get up out of that seat. It just is what it is. You're just along for the ride. So we got to reimagine how we get into that plane, or i.e., think like Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
How do we get this motherfucking plane back on the ground
We got
so
to.
I can adjust?
Now we can figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
We gotta get you where we want you first, right? And then we can start to kind of navigate and move a little bit differently, but not until then, right?
Yeah.
We steady trying to figure out how we can inch a little bit closer to the cockpit. Fam, you're not getting in there. Okay? You're not getting in there.
Yeah, but it bothers me though when we fall for the same shit. Again, man, I went to Kankakee this weekend for Memorial Day. Went down there with family, and it was interesting just having conversations with people who aren't from the mindset that I'm from and from the kind of communities that I'm from.
Alvin say the movie was Amazing Stories around '86 or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. But when you think about that mindset of the Kankakeeans, it kind of represents, in my mind at least, suburban attitudes across the country. You know what I mean? And not even necessarily suburban, because when you start thinking about black life outside of, those major enclaves, i.e. Chicago, Detroit, Atlanta, wherever those big hubs of black people are, I would assume this is kind of a similar philosophy. And I've heard this before, but it just gets more and more interesting every time I think about it. We've essentially substituted white racist behavior with Republican behavior.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's a case study for me.
Yeah, we've made it a political conversation as opposed to a human existence like conversation, a power.
Yeah, it's really interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
And we was having this conversation, and I was like, well, you know, the Democrats do the same shit. It's two sides of the same coin. And they was like, no, not like these Republicans. And I was just like,
you don't understand it.
What planet do you live on?
That's what be blowing my mind. It's like, how do you not? The problem is, like, once your mind is open to certain shit, you can't unsee it. It's like those memes and shit that go around. It's like, oh, there was one of like Wolverine, the X-Men dude, Wolverine in his like yellow, blue, like costume type shit, right? And the meme said, Wolverine's costume, I'm gonna try to pull up a picture of Wolverine's yellow costume thing. It said Wolverine's costume is just two Batmans kissing each other. Once I saw it, there's no way I can ever look at the costume again and not fucking see it. It looks just like two Batmans kissing each other. But my point is that when you get to that kind of thing, there's no other way to not see it that way. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what it looks like. I'm gonna pull out one of these doggone pictures of him if I can find him in the costume. They keep showing me the Gene Hackman thing or the Gene, whatever the hell his name is. But the fucking suit absolutely does look like just two fucking Batmans kissing each other, bro.
Yeah, but that's to the point of the show Salim had the other day about, you know, extermination of the brutes. I saw Salim post an article about, you know, this high-end white elite Catholic school finding children's remains, black bodies in it.
Mm-hmm.
All of that, the very nature of who these people are, you know, y'all laughing and, you know, somebody said I was gonna get us the whole station kicked off line when I said go get a gun and rob their ass. But that's just the theory and philosophy in which they obtain power.
That's how they got it.
This is all a conversation of power.
That's how they got it.
Yeah, but again, right, melanated people are the majority of the population of the planet.
Right.
So this is a small population, right? And again, I tend not to, I ain't gonna say I tend not to because I do. I demonize the shit out of white people. But I don't necessarily know if that's the right way to approach it. I don't know if they should be demonized or celebrated at some level.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I think that, you know, in order to have the balance of energy, you have to have both energy sets. You have to have the balance of the good and the bad, the yin and the yang, the negative and the positive.
Sure.
You know, but the scales are out of whack, and they're out of whack being dominated by a small percentage of the global population. And you can compare it to the average Chicago neighborhood, West Side, South Side, whatever, specifically where the crime element overruns the energy of the neighborhood. I'm not saying overruns the neighborhoods really in reality, but it overruns and dominates the energy of the neighborhood.
Absolutely, it does.
You know what I mean?
No doubt.
And because it dominates the energy of the neighborhood, people respond to the stereotypes of the places they live. And I told the story often about the kids I coach. They was like, I don't go outside, Mr. Werner. And they live in areas that I deem to be fairly safe.
Right.
But the energy and the understanding and the ideas that their parents had of the neighborhoods that they were in were like, it was dangerous for my child to be out here in the public sphere. And because it's dangerous for my child to be out here in the public sphere, I'm going to mess up the natural ecosystem by raising him in front of his living room, essentially creating a secular kind of idea, and he's going to raise another weakling, and another weakling is going to come from that, and another weakling is going to come from that. And
you train them to withdraw.
Right, you train them to withdraw. But that 1% population of what would be deemed as that wild energy, they just getting stronger. They're just getting stronger. And if you never face it, then, well, eventually they rule. You know what I mean? So I think that's the position we're in as a global populace. We've just not faced it.
No.
It's time to face it.
You got to.
Because now they're to the point where they're seeking or soaking up all of the resource to a point where they're going to destroy the goddamn planet.
Yeah.
And you're not going to have the opportunity to be in front of your living room and your couch and your television.
And all 3,500 of them is going to go live on Mars. It ain't that many of them. You know what I mean? It's just like, eventually you got to fucking deal with it. You can't just keep running from the fucking bully and think they're going to stop just fucking with you. They are not, right? They're still getting bigger and stronger, and you are getting weaker and weaker and weaker because at not one point have you engaged in any ability to even try to figure out how to go about combating what they're doing. You got to at some point be like, you know what, fam, we're going to box about this shit. And that's just going to be that. And until you do, get comfortable. In the bottom of that plane, that little space that the movie you and Alvin was talking about. Get comfortable in that little spot. Okay? Get comfortable, get real comfortable right there. But the problem is we have gotten real comfortable right there.
We are. And again, that's the macro. Even on the micro levels when we just thinking about our neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. Right? We were supposed to have a guest today. I was going to have one of my shorties in here who's a young rapper. And he's the genuine article of that energy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I just wanted to have an in-depth conversation with him on air. He's going to come in probably next week or sometime. Mm-hmm. We're going to definitely do something. We also got to discuss this break thing. Right? I ain't seen Maze and them, but we got to talk about how we going to manage this because I don't know if we was going to take a real break like everybody else is taking breaks.
So we gonna get that thing set. Either way, we'll continue to do I Say What I Said, whether the studio gets closed for some type of, for whatever reason.
Yeah, matter of fact,
we'll continue to do it, and then y'all can do it on the I Say What I Said page.
Shout
out to everybody that's watching on the I Say What I Said page right now.
That's what I was saying. If you all are not listening from the I Said What I Said page now, if you're listening on a different platform, you should sign on or follow the I Said What I Said page. So
yeah, at least make sure y'all are following the I Said What I Said page because if we do break, then we'll broadcast
directly from there. Yeah, but to that point, think about just our neighborhoods, man. Think about how big Inglewood is. Mm-hmm. Like Inglewood is huge. It's one of the larger neighborhoods in the city of Chicago, if not the largest. Yeah, you know what I mean. And think about
making it one of the largest in the country.
Stereotypical vision of what Inglewood is. You know what I mean? Like people who don't live in Inglewood or not from Inglewood, a lot of them are afraid to travel through Inglewood just because of the stereotype of what exists in Inglewood. And I wonder what percentage of people in Inglewood are actually actively participating in criminal behavior. I bet it don't exceed 2-3%.
No.
You know what I mean? But that's the moniker across the country. Same thing with Washington Park. Same thing with the West Side. We was just laughing and joking with Reese a minute ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what percentage of the people are actually actively engaged in that energy? You know what I mean? And if it's less than 2-3%, then what the fuck is the other 98% doing?
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's the conversation we need to be having. Over and over and over again, in every capacity.
What the other 98% doing is practicing what they've always learned, which is how to withdraw. And how you withdraw, in this particular instance, is to get to a space where, okay, we just blame ROW. I just pinned the link to the I Say What I Said page. The way to withdraw is to put the responsibility on somebody else to do something about it, right? I'm not doing shit about it, right? So I put the responsibility either to do something about it or the blame and accountability on somebody else. That's what I say all the time when I talk to, older generations and like, yo, I moved into this community in 1970, whatever, 1960, whatever, and it was a pristine community that was well run and well functioning and yada, 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 yada. Heard you, okay? And if that's what it looked like when you got here, and now it looks like this, and you've been here the whole time, how can you take zero responsibility or accountability for that? How can you lay all of that at the feet of 15, 16, 17-year-olds? That's not a real fucking thing. But what it is a way for me, as that person who's saying that, to not have to actually engage, to not have to actually do anything about it. It's them. Motherfucker, it's you too. Okay? You've been here the whole time. All right? What have you done to prevent this? Oh, I raised mine. My son work at the post office. All right, cool. And then what? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's I don't know, man. It's a vicious cycle of I don't want to do shit about it. I'm kind of scared to do something about it. Fuck it. I'm gonna work my job for my 40 years. I'm gonna retire. I'm gonna die. Fuck you niggas.
Mm-hmm. Going back to the very value of this journey, though, it's only setting up pathways for the next generation.
Right.
And again, back to the conversation of race and why race is what it is. Race is just that. It's a race to resource. Right. And it's a race to resources that are made scarce. Intentionally and by capitalization. You know what I mean? Think about how much food and garbage America throws away every day.
It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable, right? And there's profit attached to that throwaway shit. But that throwaway shit could feed the rest of the globe.
It could solve hunger.
It could cure hunger. Nobody in the world should ever
the
be
food
hungry.
that the United States of America throws away could solve hunger. I would say cure hunger, but it ain't a fucking disease.
It's not.
It could solve the fucking issue of hunger.
Right, but the disease is greed.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Same thing with housing. You know what I mean? I think we populate less than 30% of the actual land in the United States of America. So why are people homeless? That's just not logical. You know what I mean? There's a 70% rural grassland that can be leveraged to cure homelessness. But that's just not the goal, because the real disease is greed. So black, white, yellow, red, indifference, until we deal with greed, we're going to struggle. And the problem that I see is that, you know, for us as a populace, again, for so long we've been left out of the conversation of having greed as our goal because we just wasn't invited to the table. You know what I mean? And now that we're not even invited to the table now, we're being leveraged at the table now. That's also became our main driver.
I need 1,000 barbershops.
You know what I mean?
Do my bidding.
I was having a conversation about Chicago being Black Mecca this weekend, and somebody responded like, "No, Atlanta's the Black Mecca." And I was like, "Man, are you out your fucking mind? You get past ignorant music and ignorant television, all you got is poor Southern motherfuckers. Atlanta ain't getting money like that.
Rappers and strippers, baby.
Yeah, that's it. And most of those people who there are migrants to Atlanta. They're not native Atlantans.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a transient.
And the only industry there is ignorant music and ignorant television for you. So how many people you know just gonna make it as a rapper? How many people you know just gonna make it as a reality TV star? Because it ain't like even written scripts coming out of it. It's just ignorant shit.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not the metropolis that you think it is. Chicago is that.
No, but we got to get to a space where we are in control of our own narratives, man. I was watching on the Soil today. Shout out to the Bigs, man.
Salute Gino and T.
To Gino and T, man. And they had Mark McGuire on the show today. But I was listening to him, and you know, G, humble as hell, right? And he's like, they talking about playoff basketball and all this shit is going on, and there's a lot of fuck shit going on in playoff basketball, by the way. But anyway, they was talking about it, and Gino was like, you know, I ain't no expert, I'm just saying. And T was like, nah, bro, you are an expert on this shit. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it started this whole thing in the comments where we like, nah, absolutely, y'all are fucking experts, right? And me and Mama McIntosh was in there like, nah, you
Auntie Shelly.
Yeah, like nah, absolutely, you fucking are, right? But I'm saying this to say that we got to start fucking understanding where our real value are and where our real contributors are and who they come from, right? And it like, salute to whoever they put on, you know, ESPN and TNT and all that shit. No problem with them, right? But right, for Gino and T to put in the work like they do every fucking day, like them niggas was running out of here today to go to the Cubs game and the Sox game, and they trying to figure out how they gonna cover all the Bear shit in the fall. Like they have been really putting in the fucking work, and they have done legendary shit in that industry for a long time, right?
They El Mago. Did they got the name for it?
Yeah, El Mago for Javier. But no, you didn't see it. He did some super El Mago shit like last week. It was. I couldn't even explain it to you if I tried to, right?
It's funny when you're like, no, you didn't see it.
no, you didn't see it. Right? For 1 second, I'll be ready to tell you, like, no, you didn't fucking see it. No. But they have done, like, real legendary shit in the fucking industry. They have critical analysis of the sports. They fucking have insider information, and they have legendary guests on the show. They fucking sound drops got Damian Lillard, right? Everybody they talked about on the show today, there was a fucking sound drop from them. From fucking Damian Lillard. We talked about Jason Kidd. They got a sound drop from Jason Kidd, right? Like all of that shit. Like they done real shit. They cold as fuck. And I don't need nobody to fucking validate that shit to me, right? And you know, so I think that we got to be in control of that kind of shit, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't need nobody to fucking tell me that you aren't more well read or more versed in the issues of black liberation and black history than the likes of a Charlemagne or a T.I. or nothing against neither one of them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? But it's like they can't sell enough albums to make me think that they are better equipped to lead this movement than you are.
But the conversation is different, bro. Right? What validates them is not the same thing. And again, it goes back to our goals. What validates them is capital. Because our goals are aligned with capital, not freedom, not power, not none of that. Just capital and comfort. You know what I mean? So they become, and we go down the line. This ain't changed since the history of ever.
Right.
Think about this shit, man. And I love Malcolm, and I love Martin, and I love, you can go down the line. You know what I mean? But they were also great performers. We got to put that as part of why they are who they are. They were, that shit
100%.
is theatrical.
That matters.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That shit is theatrical, G. That shit is a work of art. You know what I mean? So to be able to articulate that message, not just having the information, but to articulate it like a Southern Baptist preacher. You know what I mean? Because most times what people are responding to is not the words or the thoughts or the theories or the ideas.
It's the presentation.
It's the tone.
That's what I'm saying. How you present this shit, how you present this message matters.
That's real.
You get two people to read the same fucking thing, and in one space people is falling out, in another space motherfuckers is falling asleep.
What the fuck is he talking
You know
about?
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
it's the same shit.
Same shit.
Right? So there's this in our community, that's what we are. That's what we connect to, the theatrics.
That's what theater is, right? That's why you have auditions and shit. Everybody reading the same fucking script. We're gonna pick the motherfucker who does it the best and moves the fucking scene. You know what I mean?
When he reads the script. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that matters. So, you know, and again, I'm saying this.
The Bible is the Bible.
Yeah.
100 million people can read the Bible.
Yeah, but it's
gonna sound different when
component that's attached to it. You know what I mean? So in that vein, the people that we respond to are those who are, you know, versed in putting on performances. You know what I mean? And all this shit ain't the performance. Remember when I was in college, I had an African teacher named Coker. I can't remember his first name. But he used to tell me all the time, this was his main shit to me. He used to say, Toussaint, it's not all the hustle, man. Because he used to say, I tried to hustle my way through everything. And my response would be, no, you got that fucked up. It is all the hustle.
Yes, it is.
You know what I mean? It is all the hustle. You know what I mean? And part of the problem is with that is that when you in that hustle mindset, you seem to reap rewards. But when you get to the authenticity of value,
that's what I was gonna say.
You don't reap the same
That's
rewards.
what
At least not in the
say.
same capacity.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Or maybe not at the same frequency or something. I don't know.
Right.
But I've lived a bunch of life. And I've been a bunch of different people doing those duration of that life I've lived.
There are things to be gained in the hustle, right? But if you're talking about the overall good of the collective, the hustle can't be what unless if we're talking about a collective hustle, right? Then yeah, that's cool, right? But this hustle to figure out how you can just maneuver through this thing, that's not gonna get you to the end game, right? Unless that's, you know what I mean? Unless your end game is aligned with them, and even then, they ain't gonna let you get to that spot no fucking how. So it's like, just do you. Just keep on stacking bricks. Keep on putting up.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you could do you, but I'd almost make an argument that authenticity is not on the board. It's not a place on the board.
No, but what I'm saying is it has to be. It has to become the spot on the board, because playing the game the other way ain't gonna net you shit either, right? On some individual shit, right? But again, I'm always talking about the collective, right? So yeah, you can finesse some shit on some personal shit if you want, right? But even to that point, you're gonna get to a level where it's like, oh shit, I'm hitting this fucking glass hill and they still won't let me in, right?
Yeah, maybe. And then you just find another route to exploit, right? And I think that's kind of what happens in our communities, right? You get to the point of, think about Jay and Title and, you know, that from an idea space, conceptually, like, ooh, here's what Black Power looks like. But then, you know how we talk about Title, like you should fuck with Title because Jay has Title, then you hear the backlash around Title, like, oh, it's too expensive. But when you look at Title in comparison to the other streaming sites, they're really not in the game. They're really not in the game. You know what I mean? But because he's positioned himself in a more diverse capacity than just being, let's say, Jay-Z the rapper, or even Jay-Z the businessman, he's iconic in our community, right? He has a value in our community that supersedes his actual talent, right? Absolutely. Which opens doors for conversations for him to have with other high-ranking people.
Absolutely.
Donald Trump asked Jay-Z and Beyonce to be a part of his campaign.
Absolutely.
As did Barack Obama, because they know the value.
As did the National Football League.
Because we tune in to what the fuck they got to say.
Where can I find niggers?
Yeah.
They at the Jay-Z concert, they at the Beyonce concert, and they at the fucking barbershop.
Right, which i.e. means, again, going back to what I say all the time, it has to be a shifting or reworking of our values. And that's not the shit on Jay-Z or none of them for that matter. But again, that's what we're tuned into, and those are the results we get. We're on this wavelength, we're riding this frequency, and we're expecting something different. You're not gonna get nothing different. You know what I mean? If you listening to Cardi B, and I don't give a fuck how you feel about my opinion of this, but if that's some low down gutter ignorant shit, then you're gonna get low down gutter ignorant responses. And I don't mean from the music, I mean from the life you're living, because you wouldn't be engaged in that shit if that wasn't the frequency you was on.
Okay.
It's reality. It's just the reality.
You know, I struggle with that.
I know, but it's real.
I
do the same shit.
Yeah,
but it's real. You know, there's again balance though. You know what I'm saying? It's the
balance.
yin and the yang. It's balance. But what I'm saying is this shit is out of whack. We're not balanced, right? The average person who's in tune with that music. What's the dude you've been talking about? I'm on this wave.
Pooh Shiesty.
That's
what I'm saying.
What is that dick?
Big Bird.
Big Bird.
Get it back in blood.
Right. But the average person who's tuned in to Pooh Shiesty, right?
Yeah.
His frequency is probably not going over 2 or 3 notches higher than Pooh Shiesty.
Nah, it's right there all the time.
Right there at Pooh Shiesty.
It's 8 o'clock in the morning right there.
Right. And Pooh Shiesty becomes the guidepost in which most of his life is lived. And I'm not saying it's the music's fault.
No,
I'm just saying that's
where you at.
That's the frequency. That's just what it is, right?
No,
And
you're right.
So we're talking about the construct from a standpoint of overcoming it. Then you got to level up the frequency because you got more information you got to learn.
Yeah.
You know, there's more discipline you got to have. There's a bigger vision you got to see, right? And we're talking about a spiritual elevation. Then you got to move above the Pooh Shiesty frequency.
Yeah.
Because the spirit of Pooh, well, not even that, because there's a spirit attached to Pooh Shiesty.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? But
South Memphis nigga grew up in the streets.
Yeah, but that energy and that spirit that's attached to Pooh Shiesty is going to keep you at that level too.
100%. I mean, but I think that you can, like you said, you can strike that balance, right? And so, like I said, I went on a fucking 3-hour walk this morning. When I first walked out my door, I was listening to gospel, right? At some point, I started listening to some R&B, and then, well, shit, I spend most of the time on the phone, to be honest with you. Spend most of the time actually on the telephone. But the parts of my walk while I was listening to music, it kind of just evolved over a little bit, right? And so, you know, you find that balance, right? I think that you can do both. I do fully recognize the damage that can be done to a very young, impressionable, you know, person, right? I'm not young and I'm not all that impressionable from a Pooh Shiesty. You know what I mean? Pooh Shiesty can't make a big enough impression on me to make me like get on the shit he's talking about.
See, I could argue that though.
How?
Right? So anything that you allow in your body has an effect. It's just like food. Any message you allow in your body has an effect.
Okay.
Anything that you allow into your body has an effect. It just is what it is. Whether it's conscious or unconscious, it has an effect. When I was a shorty, my old man used to argue with me like, man, that shit you listening to makes you aggressive. Because I was mired in the midst of it. I was like, nigga, no, it don't.
Right.
Right. But now that I'm older, I've gained some level of understanding. I've some level of maturity. I got children. And I look at the shit.
And you can see and understand how it may have that impression on you.
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't have that impression on you now, though. Well, you don't really
I'm
listen
not
to
in
that
that frequency anymore. But
Right.
the shit that I am in the frequency of it absolutely does. There's no way to avoid it. It's just what we are. We're receptors to frequencies.
Right, because that's kind of how you want to move now. But what I'm saying is, when you was listening to whatever music your pop was talking about, it's like that's the frequency I was on. And so, at some point in my life, listening to Pooh Shiesty as much as I listen to Pooh Shiesty now, absolutely would have had me moving differently outside.
But even in the midst of that, right? Let's think about this.
All the bump shit, all the Goon Squad shit, all the shit I listened to back then definitely had me like.
Think about this.
On some other shit.
Think of how many motherfuckers you hear, even in our comments, right? Oh, I was listening to XYZ. It had me thinking I was on some drive-by. I was doing a drive-by today, right? First off, doing a drive-by should not be a fucking goal. That's one, right? That should not be some shit that we celebrate. You understand what I'm saying?
100%.
Right? That's one. So that's an effect. That shifted your thought process and energy already.
Yeah, but
I looked at that as praiseworthy.
Yeah, but there's a difference between you listening to Gucci and you feel like you're moving bricks, but really you got a briefcase and you're on your way into the fucking office. You know what I'm saying? You feel like you're moving bricks, but you're going into your fucking office.
Again, even in what you just said, you're celebrating moving bricks. The value ain't having a goddamn briefcase and going in the office. The value is, I'm a dope boy, I got bricks in my briefcase. You've tuned into a low-level frequency, and it's making you value the low-level shit, right? Now, then how does that play out when the motherfucker drives in front of you or cuts you off in traffic?
Yeah, I did.
Because it plays out.
Mitch.
It plays out. Somebody just shot the shit out of some lady, and I don't know where they was at, Lady cut him off. This nigga got out of his car, shot the shit out of him, and got back in his car. That's an extreme.
That. Yeah,
that's an extreme.
Uh-huh.
But think about the energy. I remember one day, man, I cut somebody off in traffic, and it just happened.
Right.
I had to do it.
Right.
And this, I could see him in the rear view, cussing
Going
me
the
out,
fuck off.
going out, right?
Ready to kill
It was
you.
just so funny to me, right? And now it's several ways to respond to that. In most instances, people match aggression with aggression.
Sure.
Right? I was on a different frequency. So when he came past me and finally caught up to me, I just waved and said, "Hey man, it's okay. Smile. Jesus loves you." It was funny. And that made him more and more angry.
Oh, he's pissed now.
You know what I'm saying?
Now you're fucking with
But
me.
just different energy. I don't want to fight you, fam. It's not that
Yeah,
serious.
it's not that
to me.
serious, man.
Or the granddaddy who shot at the car ended up getting the kid
the baby.
killed.
Yeah.
That's an energy, bro.
Yeah.
And it thrives and rides through the lanes of the Pooh Shiesties of the world, the little Dirks of the world. That energy is percolating. It's pervasive in our communities.
Here's the thing, though, too. We talk about this all the time as well when we talk about finding that balance and utilizing the black market, like the fucking I don't know what the fuck you would ever call it, like the street culture, and utilizing that to gain power, right? Talking about going from the streets to the suites, right? And so I think there still becomes a necessity to find that fucking balance, right? What was the music that fucking Al Capone and shit was listening to when they was killing shit up? You know what I mean? Like what type of frequency were they tuned into, right? Whatever they were doing, they used it to gain power. I'm saying that it can't be all bad. We just got to like utilize it for something else. And I think that finding that balance helps, because while I'm listening to Pooh Shiesty, I'm still speaking to every single brother and sister I walk past on the street today.
It's a nuanced conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, I argue for power all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I argue for power all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But there's levels and there's nuance.
Sure.
Right?
100%.
We're here. Like, idealistically, this is Rome. When in Rome, do as the Romans.
Right.
Right? But at the core of my spiritual self, power has no fucking value. It has no, I just want to really just be. But while in Rome with the Romans, motherfucker, you better arm up. It is what it is.
Agreed.
Now, all of that is a reflection of the frequency of the social dynamic I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
If I was born in, I don't know, 1600s in Panama or some shit,
right,
my frequency might be, I just want to plant flowers, motherfucker. Everybody eating. But we're here, right? So I'm not saying, and I'm not condemning one or the other. I'm just saying it is what it is. You know what I mean? But at its core level, at the highest level of your spiritual being, nigga, power has no value.
Mm-hmm.
Right? At the end of the day, man, we live on the greatest earthquake fault in all of the world. All of the world. Think about that. Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The ground starts shaking. What do your power look like to you at that point? It don't mean shit.
Don't mean nothing. All them buildings coming down.
The ground is shaking, motherfucker. Everything you thought was real ain't real no more.
Nothing matters now.
Nothing matters no more.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can have no more power than the universe. So your power has no value.
But
in Rome, you got to do it to Rome.
But only catastrophic events bring people to that type of space to understand what really matters, right? You take like 9/11, right?
Nigga, a dog chasing after your ass down the street will reconstruct your idea and belief system.
Sure it will.
Because you can't do shit with a dog when the dog really want to get with your ass.
Sure it will. But what I'm saying, like, you get like the towers falling down and shit.
Mm-hmm.
An hour ago, right? The motherfucker who was on the top of that motherfucking building would not have batted a fucking eye at the custodian in the building or whatever, unless he was locked out of his office or some shit like that. Or his trash can was overflowing, right? Them motherfucking planes hit, that shit crashing down, everybody in the stairwell, we the same now. Okay? If you can help me, can you grab my hand, help me. Like, all that shit is the same now, right? Fucking levees break in fucking New Orleans. No matter how big your house is or you came from the projects, we in this fucking water, help me. You know what I mean? It don't matter no fucking more. You know what I'm saying? But the only out of catastrophe do we even get to that space. You know what I'm saying? And I think that
I don't know if that's true either though. And I'm gonna say it in this sense, right? When I went to China, and I'm only leveraging China because the language barrier in going to China and being dolo by myself.
Sure.
Nobody in China speaks English, motherfucker. That's fuck you. This is China.
Fuck yo.
You know what I'm saying? So the language barrier will humble the shit out you because you will realize
You feel stupid as shit. Like, I can't fucking
you like
communicate.
a fish trying to figure out how to walk down the goddamn road.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's it humbles the shit out of you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's I don't know if it's the catastrophe that matters. It might just be challenging new environments. I don't know. You know, but it has to be again. It's
something has to drastically alter your current state. And while we can look at our current state and say this should be a catastrophe that changes our mind, it's been our state for so long that it's not something that has been drastically altered. And so without the drastically altering it, right? Without the alteration, it's like, well, this is just kind of what it is. This is par for the course, and you find your way through it, right? And some people find their way through it in one way, some people find their way through it in other ways. And I'm saying it don't really serve us to be like, this way, this way, good. I don't know that your way of doing it through your corporate job is all that much better than his way of doing it through the fucking streets. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that one of those is a better path to our liberation than the other.
It's not.
You know what I'm saying?
And our liberation is internal. That's kind of my argument.
Right.
I don't know if it is a collective conversation. It's an individual conversation. It's internal.
For sure. Each individual has to make a decision that the liberation of the collective is the thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we can't make a group decision that's then going to be imprinted on each individual. The individual's got to make that decision first and then move as a collective. For sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you can't just be like, hey.
But there's power in that decision.
100%. That's the only place the power is.
That's the real power right there. I've decided that this shit no longer suits me.
Right.
I've decided that I desire something different.
Right.
I've decided that the barriers that were previously put up to stop me from harnessing whatever the goals I have are no longer exist to me. I've decided that. Right now, what that does is for those people who have that level of self-determination because of just the pathway they're going to create for themselves.
Exactly.
It opens up opportunity and roadways for those behind them.
Exactly. Because
You know
it changes the way that you fucking move.
Period.
Right? So once I decided that I'm not with this, bro, I used to have like plans for all kind of shit. Like 15 fucking cars, big ass, stupid ass houses here and there. I still want a fucking room with a glass floor with sharks in it. I still want a room in my house that looks like that, right? But before I got out into a different mindset, like that's just what I'm on. But now once I change my mind about that kind of shit, G, it changes everything I do and move, right? And so when we have the conversation about like, yo, you can't really buy blacks. Like, nah, yes you can, G. Is it inconvenient? Does it take a level of commitment from me? Absolutely it does. But I've already fucking decided. I've already made up my mind that that's what I'm on. And so I'm going to move that way, right? You
can pseudo buy black.
Huh?
You can pseudo buy black.
Sure. To the best of my ability, right. I'm going to fucking do that.
Them sip and savor cups come from some white company somewhere.
Heard you.
The coffee beans.
The fucking coffee beans.
White people.
I heard you, right? But then, the further you go, the deeper you get into it. Then you start to go to places who shop at black farms, right? You go to restaurants that these
both of them
they come. Be as pessimistic or realistic as you want to be, however you see it, right? What I'm saying is, once you make up your mind, then that's how you fucking move. And I've fucking decided already.
I'm being funny, but
you're right. That's why I said pessimistic or realistic.
Like, when you look at them numbers, that shit is outrageous.
That's why I said pessimistic or realistic.
Yeah,
right? I'm not.
It's a motherfucker.
You know what I'm saying? But even still,
it's the conversation about
once
Africans.
you made up your mind, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. I agree, man. But we got, and I'm saying it's just for to
have, you're on point.
Conversation.
Yeah.
But I also see the value in the collective decision making process. But I think sometimes we minimize our ability. One, I think we don't necessarily see and understand who we are. Not even as a community, but just as individuals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that part of the conditioning that America imprints on black people is to always have this philosophy of less than.
Yeah.
And even at our hilt, I don't think we recognize the power that we harness. We started the show talking about the conversation with the Jersey City kids and the goddamn beating on the buckets.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They've turned this shit into something different. What will beating on the buckets look like 100 years from now?
Mm-hmm.
When we look at the motherfuckers beating on the buckets,
somebody gonna tell you Justin Bieber started it,
but we minimize it like it's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's beneath us. You know what I mean? So it's just I don't think we fully value. We're aliens, fam.
That's real.
We're aliens, G. I just talked about the idea of black philosophers versus white philosophers, white think tanks versus black think tanks, and that's not being biased. That's not being biased. As a fan of literature, as a fan of science, as a fan of information, I can't find very many comparative conversations to us in regards to them as a species. Right? When we look at sports, you can't find very many comparative conversations to the greatest of our athletes to the greatest of their athletes. Right?
That's real.
There's no capacity in which you can have a real comparison.
No.
Right? But still, we move through the world as if we're subservient. Fuck out of here, B. That's all part of the conditioning. Right? And if I'm really God, then what the fuck do Rome mean to me?
Nothing. But you got to decide, though. That's what I'm saying. You got to each impact how you move.
You got to decide.
We got to go. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. We was going to go a little longer just to mess with the Bigs. The Bigs was on one today. The Bigs was like, fuck, I said what I said.
That sure was. And they could have said that for another whole 30 or 40 or an hour and 30 for me, and I'd have been all good.
It's because your ass tired today.
I'm finna go to the crib and lay it down.
I'm finna post up, man. I'll be here in the studio. Y'all make sure y'all tune in to the network this evening at 6 o'clock. Chris the Critic will be here with his co-host Gina B. Then In the Zone with Brian Foster. And apparently, Reese is doing Week Code Wednesday.
TBD, but yeah.
Because I was going,
it's looking good.
Because that was the first thing I asked you.
No Lord Toy gonna be in with you.
Oh, I could just call Toy in and shit.
Toy ain't got shit to do, huh?
Well, you know, she was actually doing something last week, but she'll slide in for Week Code Wednesday.
Okay.
Because I was going to make y'all my Week Codes if y'all didn't do the show again. I was going to do that at the end of this show. Like, okay, y'all are the Week Codes for this week for not doing the fucking show.
What is a Week Code?
You know, like somebody like blew you, they didn't pitch you. So like, you know, if somebody like blew you, then you like, you know, like write in like, man, I think her the Week Code, you know, for wearing a New York hat. Not saying nothing wrong. You know, you just say like, you know, so it's just like it's like a diss a little bit, but it's like a friendly diss on our show. We just want to let you know, hey man, you know, Jenna said that Dave, her baby daddy is a Week Code for me. It's in child support for the last 2 months. You know, you just say some little shit like that. So
okay, I get it.
I can dig it. We got to bounce, man. Thank y'all so very, very much for tuning in. As always, your input was valued. It was certainly appreciated. Do not forget to follow the I Say What I Said page. We'll be broadcasting from there. Shout out to everybody who has been following the show and commenting on the I Say What I Said page. Appreciate y'all. Shout out to everybody watching on YouTube as well. We greatly, greatly appreciate each and every one of y'all. We'll be back here on Friday. Same time.
Everybody on the I Say What I Said page too.
I said that.
No, you said what's that for black people?
I said that.
No, you didn't. I was listening.
Let me do this.
I just said it again for him. Just start all over for him.
Let me do this, man.
I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you. That's my job in life.
When it's something to disagree about and push back on, do your part. Okay.
I just did. I pushed back and disagreed that you didn't say what I said you said. So I just helped you. That's what we're gonna do.
Shout out to everybody watching on the I Say What I Said page.
Salam alaikum.
We'll be back here. For It's the Ruler in Tucson, my name is Herb Howard. Y'all be good to each other. Peace.